Hi, and what we're going to do today is try and take you a walkthrough on the Game and a Curry Games Judge Dredd Block War, the card game. Now, what you're looking at in front of you is the initial setup. Ignore the baseboard, we've nicked that out of our Judge Dredd, the game of crime fighting in Mega City 1, the good old 80s GW board game, because we thought it made a nice playing surface for having a go at Block War on. Block War is purely a card game, and in it are a number of different card types, and we'll run through those very quickly for you now so that you have an idea of what you're looking at. Both players will have 5 gate cards. These are double-sided cards. They have an open side and a closed side. When they are closed, the shutters are down, you can't shoot out, you can't be shot at, and the judges will leave you alone. When they're open, you can be shot at, you can shoot out through it, and if the judges are facing an open door, they will be blasting at you as well because you're obviously up to no good. Behind these then, we have 10 boom cards. These represent destroyed gates. If pardon me, if a gate is destroyed, they will be replaced with a boom card. I like boom. It's just a destroy gate card, but I'm going to call them boom cards for now. So there's a set of each of those for both players, and they're laid out in this manner to create a street down the middle. And then to the left is the Judge's deck. And this is a deck of cards that represent the forces of law and order in Mega City 1. To the opposite end, we have the Perps deck. And this is the troops and allies that you, as the blockers, can call upon to help fight your neighbouring block and, of course, the judges. Finally, there are the reference cards for the turn order and what you can spend your action points on, and a convenient little tracker for being able to keep track of your action points throughout the game as well. Once the initial setup like this is ready, it's time to populate the street. Now the Judge deck is unusual in that the deck is not all orientated the same way. You will start off out of the box, they will be, but what you'll have to do is take about half the deck, turn them the opposite way from the other cards, and then give them a really good shuffle. Because what we're looking for here as the cards will come out is that they alternate in which direction they are facing. They have a front and a rear side, and the backs of the cards don't give away which way they're orientated. What you should do is grab it by the short edge and literally just turn it over on the spot. So as you can see, this card would be facing my opponent at the moment, but I'm going to rotate it round so we can just talk quickly about the card. There's a couple of things to note here. The direction of facing is the direction of attack, and the target reticule here indicates that it's attacking straight ahead. Some cards or later expansions to the game may give it the indicator here or here, where in actual fact it could be attacking an opposite gate from where it's actually positioned. We have the bullets showing its attack value. We have the helmet showing its defense value. We have a victory point, which in this form of the game has no relevance. Subsequent editions of the game will make more use of that. The only 2 cards in this version that count towards this are Judge Dredd and Judge Giant. They're kind of used as a bit of a tiebreaker type thing. We have the back of the judge, in which case no attack and only 1 defense. And then you'll notice in this card the word slide. Slide is a card effect once it's drawn, and the slide card will always want to go in this first column facing these 2 gates here. So if there was another card there already, the slide would force it to move down, and indeed subsequent slide cards would force this card to move down the street too. Drop. Drop means it goes down into the first available space. Slide. 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 Now, since this is the first round, we have to check the orientation is fair. The fair orientation is considered to be 3-2. At the minute, 1, 2, 3, 4 cards face player 2's side, whilst only 1 faces player 1's. In this instance, player 2 is allowed to choose any one of these 4 cards and reorientate it to face player 1. Looking at it, this is the most powerful. Well, these are both share. Oh no, actually the bike cannon. Just seen the attack value there. So I think player 2 would elect to turn that round on player 1. Now that this part of setup is complete, both players are required to open 2 gates each. Remember, you can only attack out of an open gate. A closed gate can either be attacked by the judges or your opponent, but equally you cannot shoot out through a closed gate, only an open gate. The sensible option is for you to open gates where the Justice Department are not facing you, because Justice Department start combat. Every combat round begins with Justice Department looking for a viable target. Here we have quite a powerful veteran judge, but he's facing my opponent, so I'll open that as one of my gates. And we have the same again here, so I will open that as my second gate. Looking from player 2's point of view, facing the judge, facing a judge, this one facing away, and this one facing away. So now we've both opened 2 gates. The next thing that needs to happen is both players get an initial hand of 5 cards. Now, they get 5 cards to start the game, but they do not get an updraw or an upkeep phase in any way like that. Instead, they'll have to actually spend action points in order to draw additional cards as the game progresses. Your action points will be used to buy cards. You can spend an action point to open or close 1 gate in your turn. You can spend an action point to move units that you've already deployed to other gates. Though you can't deploy units to a gate that's been destroyed, you can pay to move through those as well. And you'll need to pay action points to actually activate and deploy units from your hand as cards or action cards. We'll draw 5 cards for player 1, and we'll just set those there. And we'll draw 5 cards for player 2. I'm just going to set those there at the moment, since there is no real player 2. Now, there's no combat at the first player's round because your opponent won't have anything deployed. So we'll take a look at what we've got. We've managed to get punks, more punks, riot foam, and this lightning symbol is an action card. So it's an action event that you play and discard. We have Boing, again, it's an action card. And we have Judge Defectors. They're quite powerful, but they do cost 3 action points to deploy. Now, the Judge Defectors are good ones to get out. And they do stand a good chance of doing cool things. We can deploy them wherever we want. So I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 points so that I can put my Judge Defectors down, and I'm going to put them down at this open door. Then I'm going to spend 1 point. Well, I've got 2 left. I'm going to spend 1 of those points to deploy my punks, and just to be on the safe side, I'm going to deploy them at an open door. And I'm going to spend the last point to draw an additional card. And we've drawn Crazed Citizens. The rest of the cards I'll set aside. There's no combat, so it goes on to player 2. Player 2's hand was a hack, which opens a gate, backup and reinforcements, which can be given to deployed units, and they've managed to get 2 groups of punks. Now, looking at player 1's side, one of the immediately obvious things to do is to play this hack card for 1 point and play it on this closed gate here. The hack causes the gate to open. And then I'm going to play punks. Now we have a lot of judges facing us. We have our open doors. So I'm going to play one to put punks at this open door here. And I'm going to play another one to put punks at this open door here. Now punks are quite weak. They have no defense. They've only got an attack of 1. I've spent 1, 2, 3. I've got 2 points left. I could reinforce them. To destroy them is going to take 2. To destroy that's going to take 2. So I'm going to spend 1 of those points to reinforce one of those units. I'm going to go for that one. And I'm going to spend the last point to draw another card for player 2. And they get a flashbang. A flashbang allows you to reorientate one of the judge cards on the board. That could be quite useful. Wish it held on now to my hack, because combined with this we could have had a lot more fun. But now combat begins. And combat always begins with the rank or column nearest to the judge deck. Here the veteran judge is facing this closed door. So judges won't attack a closed door, no sign of trouble. However, my door is open and I've got judge defectors. They've got an attack of 3, a defense of 3, but they are shooting into the back of this veteran judge. So the veteran judge goes down, unfortunately. We've had our attack, and even if we didn't, this doorway is closed, so there's nothing more we can do there. We come to column 2. Again, veteran judge facing a closed door. Our door is open, and even though these punks only have an attack of 1, the veteran judge's defense from behind is only 1. So the punks take out the veteran judge. We come to column 3. Here the bike cannon is facing a closed door. Behind them an open door with the reinforced punks doing 2 damage, which is enough to take out the bike cannon. We come to column 3. This gate is closed and this gate is closed, so the rookie judge has nothing to be alarmed about and no action takes place. And we come to column 3. The lawmaster is now facing an open gate, and that's a sure sign of trouble. So the lawmaster will attack. Any undefended gate is immediately destroyed. And so the first point goes to player 2. However, unfortunately for the lawmaster, the gate behind it is also open and lowly punks. And we miscalculated here because look, the punks only do a damage of 1, but the lawmaster has a defense value of 2. So the punks are unable to destroy the lawmaster, and the lawmaster has no rear attack, so both stay there. End of combat. We have to replenish the street. This time there is no balance mechanism for the orientation of the judges. As they come out is how they come out. Slide, slide, drop, and the street's repopulated. Next turn will begin and our action points are replenished. 4 cards to play with. Taking a look at what's going on, we've lost a gate. We have 2 gates open. They're both facing judges that are facing closed doors. It'd be nice to be able to do something about those doors if we could have opened them. We have a bowing card that's going to let us destroy a judge unit. We have riot foam. Put it on an opponent's open gate, and this gate is foamed up, and on their turn they may discard 3 AP. We've got more punks, and we've got our Crazy Citizens. Now, I think what will be amusing is that over here... now, I've just noticed, my bad, sorry about that. This judge card that's appeared is Stumgas, and it's an action card. So the action card gets played straight away, then discarded, and it'll be replaced by another card. Units this card are facing are destroyed, discard after use. So these units are actually now destroyed. Unlucky, player 1, player 2. This card is discarded to match that. and a new card is drawn, which causes a slide. Now, we haven't really broken anything because I'd only just lifted my cards to have a look at what was going on anyway and deciding what to try and do. So, this does, however, change what we have to think about doing at least. Now we have judges with a bike cannon facing an open window. They're doing 4 damage against my 3 defense here. Rookies facing a closed window. Street judge facing an open. Rookie facing a closed. And over here, the Lawmaster still facing my destroyed window. So, what can we do? It would be great, as I was going to say, if we had something that allowed us to reorientate a judge. This is a big problem, and I think what we're going to have to do is think about getting rid of that judge. So I can use the bowing for 3 AP, so 5 goes down to 2, play it on the judge. That deals with that. I'm going to spend 1 point to buy a card. And I got Flashbang. That's kind of useful. I have enough points to spend it. It's an action card. It rotates one of the judges. Now, if, for example, down here, I was to rotate the Lawmaster, he would wipe out those punks, but the gate would stay there. This gate is open and it's facing these judges, but the player probably still has the chance in their turn to do something about that. Yeah, I think we're going to have to go with... no, he doesn't, because there'll be combat at the end of my turn. So... nothing out to defend himself. He's left himself shy. I'm going to play that on the Lawmaster for the 1 point. That's my turn over. All my action points are spent. Combat begins. Starts here. Nothing there, so nothing to happen. Here, the rookie judge. Nothing happening there. But here, my punks are still at their open window. They're doing 1. His defense is only the 1, so he's gone. Here, closed window, open window, but no defender. Doing 2, that's gone. Here, the rookie facing closed, nothing happening. My destroyed. Lawmaster's facing opening, but he does have the punks in defense, so this time the punks are destroyed. At the end of that combat, we now have to replenish the street. Lawmaster and bike cannon. Oh, it's a slide. There we go. So, it goes back to player 2. Player 2, as you remember, still has a reinforce and has a flashbang themselves. 1 destroyed gate each. This is open. We've got bike cannons here. It would be really nice to have a combat unit because we have the opportunity of taking out the judge or mutual destruction here, leaving us open to shooting their gate. Just looking along, the Lawmaster's targeting are closed. This gate's gone, closed. And this gate's open, so we need to do something about that. But we can only open or close 1 gate in our turn. Going to spend a point to buy a card in the hope that we get a unit. And we do. We get City Defense. Now, I could deploy the City Defense to try and take out the Lawmaster, or I could deploy the City Defense with the intention of opening this door in the hope of taking out another one of my opponents. I think that what we'll do is we'll spend the 2, so we've gone down from 4, we're coming down from 5 to 4, we'll go down 2 more, so that we can play city defence. We'll spend 1 to open that gate, and that leaves us 1 AP. And I think the sensible thing to do is spend that 1 AP, flashbang that Lawmaster, and make it turn around to face our opponent. Now, combat again. Slightly different situation now. The judge is facing this way. He's facing an open window. He's doing 4 attack and 2 defence against 3 defence and 2 attack. So his attack destroys them. Their attack destroys him. Both are lost. With the judges now out of the way, my city defence are left clean to shoot through the open window at their gate. And that is sufficient to destroy their gate. Move to column 2. Nothing's going to happen here because I still haven't been able to reinforce these guys enough to take out the Lawmaster. Lawmaster still facing a closed door. Nothing's going to happen here. Nothing's going to happen here. And over here my open door is now safe because we managed to rotate the Lawmaster around. And we replenish. Tech judges. Tech judges are a drop, but they're also a special effect. Open any closed gate the tech judges are aiming at. Discard this card after use. So unfortunately, the tech judges are facing a destroyed gate in this case. Their effect is irrelevant, they're discarded, and a new card brought into play. And it's a Lawmaster. And that's essentially it. We could carry on, but I think you've got the idea now. We've got 2 destroyed gates on this side, 1 on this side, and play will simply continue on the exact same process until one or other of the players has lost all their gates. At the end, if some bizarre collection of events means that both players have lost the same number of gates or all their gates, then you look for the Judge Dredd or Judge Giant cards, which are the only judge cards that if you take them off the table, they are not discarded like the rest. They are kept by the player who has killed them, and they are used as their victory points to make the difference between a draw situation. They do intend in later expansions and developments of the game there will be more aspects to play. As you can see, the action points go up to 9 already, and there's faction symbols on the perps cards and things like that have no relevance to the Block War game as it is. These are simply there in holding place with the intention that they'll be used at a later date. But that's the play of Block War. As you can imagine, it will play much quicker once you've had a couple of games under your belt, and it really doesn't have any tricks up its sleeve. It's very straightforward. Perhaps for some people the black and white nature might make it slightly harder to see the symbols and whatnot, but of course it's very iconic of the early days of the comic, and that's what it's trying to bring through, is that kind of flavour as well. We certainly find that it is an enjoyable enough game. We need a few more games to really get comfortable and to grips with it. There's little things we miss, like the action cards when they accidentally get dealt out into the centre. But that's the same with any game, no matter how big or how small it is. There's little nuances that take you a while to get your head around. Certainly for the money involved, the Judge Dredd Block War game has an awful lot to offer. Granted, it's a 2-player game, but it's a nice wee way to fill an hour or so in the evening, and definitely worth your time and consideration. Hope you found that of some use, and it's given you some idea of how it all works. Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up, give us a follow, all that sort of nonsense, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.